Welcome back. This is the Book Bonk Podcast. I'm Chilly.
And I am Ray.
We'll be going over Fourth Wing, chapters 9 through 12 in today's episode.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I totally don't have anything in my mouth.
Nothing.
Y'all can guess. Actually, don't. That would be a terrible idea, man.
We will reveal it at the end. I say this now, and then we will forget.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't even know where to start us off for this chapter, frankly. So, Of course, chapter 9. So this is where we get into Violet and Xaden sparring, which is where we ended off. And chapter 8 was Xaden stepping up going, he, and Violet going, F.
These things happen when you poison someone too soon.
You know, he saw opportunity and he took it.
Yeah. I mean,
to be fair, he is the wing leader.
Yeah, it's kind of his position to step up, like
when someone's cheating. I mean, not cheating, cheating.
Well, she's cheating. But like not only that, but like to make sure that your quote unquote team, because they're basically a team at this moment, is like ready to go, and he's gotta basically put her in her place to be like, you can't keep poisoning people because
you gotta learn.
You gotta learn how to fight, and if you're not gonna learn from the people they assign you, you're gonna learn from me.
Yeah, pretty much. And he gives helpful advice and everything for it.
Yeah. And like advice that like he just whispers to her.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
Like, not everyone got this advice. And he's like telling her like really specific places that she could have hit him or like stabbed him or sliced him that would have been like so fast that they wouldn't have been able to do anything. And he doesn't say it loudly. He like leans in. He's like, could have gone here, here, and here.
Bro just was flirting. I mean, like advice, but flirting.
Yeah.
You know, it's how you do flirt when you spar.
I don't think I've ever flirted while sparring, but
I've never sparred, so
I was in Taekwondo for a while and we sparred, but I never flirted whilst doing it, so, you know.
Just for context, because no one can see us, Ray and me are in person for once. And while Ray was talking, I got dog hair in my mouth and went fishing it out.
And I was trying not to just bust out laughing.
All the faces I was making, man.
But, like, I know the pain because I got 4 cats, and every time I turn around, I'm like, where did this cat hair come from?
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And it flies through the air and, like, zeroes in. But to backtrack to our topic, yeah, Xaden's also, mind you, like, the best fighter they have, too. So if anyone should give great advice, it's going to be him.
He has worked to sort of be in this position. Like, he's worked hard to be their best fighter. So he clearly knows what he's talking about. And instead of going, oh, he's going to kill me, maybe take his lesson to heart. Maybe understand that he's giving you helpful advice. And whether or not he's going to kill you at the end of this, retain some of it.
Yeah. And then, so we got them sparring, and that's like a good, like, half of the chapter.
I have a quick question. So they're in wing section, right? Or are they tail section?
Let me look.
Because if they're wing section and he's wing leader, would that make the other leaders tail leaders and flame leaders? Or are they all wing leaders in their given sections?
Does it say? Did I not write it down? Because I have her as second squad, flame section, second wing before being moved to fourth wing. So is she still second squad, flame section, but for the fourth wing?
Okay.
Because they switched. And I don't think I don't know if they actually described it or not.
Yeah, I guess she is flame section. Okay, I digress. I thought I was cooking because I was like, if they're in wing section and he's wing leader, would that make the others tail leaders and flame leaders? No.
Actually, they do though. Well, not leaders, but squad. You have flame squad leader, tail squad leader, because it's mentioned like Garrick is like the squad leader for flames. Not I thought it was flame section, but that means that he's the flame section leader.
Okay.
So I guess you can have the flame section leader and then you have the squad leaders for that section. And we don't get much details, which leads me to some of the questions I have in our sections for chapters 9 through 12. because that's where you get some more mentioned. So like we have Quinn, who's a second year executive officer.
Not ossifer.
Yeah. Just so we're clear, I'm not drinking, but man, do I sound like it. So we have Quinn with Sienna, who are the executive officers, and we're not given much about them at all. And whenever they're mentioned, so like Sienna's Violet Squad executive leader. It's interesting because in that section where they're mentioned, I have to go and like pull up the exact sentence, but there's like a lot of commas and everything. And it mentions somebody having blonde hair, and Imogen's also mentioned. And I'm like, Imogen has pink hair. So who has blonde hair? Because we're not given any descriptions for the two executive officers.
Still don't know who has blonde hair.
So now I'm going to have to look that up. So there shall be a pause as I figure out where that is, because it was really bugging me. For the blonde hair comment. So you get Imogen talked, and you mentioned that Imogen has pink hair once again. Got to keep mentioning her pink hair. Hopefully you won't fall short, because Imogen's bullying Violet.
Just like everyone else in this book.
Pretty much. It's a thing. Everybody
except for your girl Riri.
Shout out to we actually officially get a nickname for her from Violet, which is Rhi, R-H-I. But what kills me about it is Violet randomly decides to use it and not use it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's just so weird. Can you imagine you have a friend
who just sometimes uses your nickname and sometimes doesn't?
And it's not to scold them or anything. It's just casually.
I wonder if they were talking about Amber Mavis. Because she has strawberry blonde hair.
Oh.
And if I recall correctly, they're close. I might be wrong about that.
So this is in chapter, I think it was 11. Let me click to see. Yeah, chapter 11. This is where the second and third years are dismissed unless they have gauntlet duty. Mm-hmm. And so that's where Imogen tells her, like, good luck, kind of bullying her.
But not really good luck.
Yeah. Violet goes, see you later. Imogen then stares at her with complete loathing for a second, then walks off with Quinn and Sienna, our executive officer, her shoulder-length blonde curls bouncing. And so I'm like...
I would assume Sienna then.
That's what I'm assuming, but it's kind of weird because it's like she walks off with Quinn and Sienna, and then it's comma, our executive officer, comma, her shoulder-length blonde curls bouncing. Like, look, here.
Yeah, let me see this.
And I'm just like, I don't English. I can't grammar English. This doesn't, like, I don't
see
understand.
With how it's written, it sounds like Quinn and Sienna are one person.
Yeah.
And it's just her shoulder-length blonde curls. But...
And they say our executive officer, which is interesting because Sienna, which we were suspecting, is the one that's specifically Violet Squad executive's leader. So Quinn's an executive leader, but I'm guessing for some other section?
So there's also the, like, overarching executive officer.
Yeah, so I have no idea how that works. But they're both executive officers, but I do have it noted that Sienna is specifically Violet's groups. So I'm assuming it's Sienna with the shoulder-length blonde curls bouncing. But it's not very,
Okay. I looked it up on the fandom website.
Oh, thank you.
Sienna is a third-year dragon rider. She held the position of executive officer of second squad.
Okay, yeah, which is Violet's. Because Violet's second squad.
Yeah.
So we're back in chapter 9, but we had to jump around there because it's like some of the stuff here is crazy. But yeah, so you have them sparring. We've talked about that. Xaden gives advice and everything on that and being like, hey, this is the safe place, relatively speaking, where you learn how to defend yourself in close combat. Because that's the point of sparring, is to learn stuff up close and stuff versus when you're on your dragon, because you're not always on your dragon and your dragon's not always going to be there to protect you. So there's that. And then later, well, I say later, it's pretty much immediately after / during it, Xaden's also kind of picking a fight with Dane by pretty much as he is, was it de-weaponizing? Disarming?
Disarming.
There we go.
But I mean, you got the gist.
Dancing around words. So close, but never on the bullseye. Disarming Violet. He's more often than not pretty much taking them and giving them to Dane. I think so. He's like throwing them Dane's way.
Oh, I just thought he was just throwing them like out of the, because it's like a 25 by 25.
Yeah,
so I was just imagining him like throwing them out of the way.
He is, but
is it specifically like
at Dane, towards Dane?
That's funny. I didn't notice that.
Literally. I'm not sure if it was all of them, but he specifically was doing that, and it's mentioned a few different times. And like Dane was going through and picking them up. And so of course then Violet and Dane starts fighting too. After that. And so they kind of start little verbal fighting over everything again. Pretty much Dane still wants Violet not to be a writer. Violet takes personal offense at this again because her crush / childhood bestie is going, "You're not cut out for this." And he's like, "I didn't say that."
Except for like, he kind of basically did. Every single time he's like, "You should leave." And she's told him flat out. She's like, "I can't. Please stop."
And so he does, I think this is where he does go through and mention, he was like, "Hey, I talked to the scribe head. He will let you in there and keep you hidden. And then whenever you're actually done with it all and officially a scribe where your mother can't do anything. She legally can't do anything at that point. You'll be like, that, like he does offer an actual solution to that.
Yeah.
But that's not what Violet wants.
Yeah. I was like, she's made it 2 months at this point, and she's starting to actually believe in herself, and him constantly trying to talk her out of all of it is finally starting to weigh on her. And she's like, "No, I've made it this far." She's like, "I've made it 2 months. We thought I was gonna die day one on the parapet."
The problem I have, and the reason why I still like Dane, but he has his issues and his flaws because he's a character. The only thing I don't like about Dane, Ray wagged their fingers at me, sorry.
I did. I hate that.
Is he has a beard. And it's like, sorry, he doesn't scream that he has a beard.
It's the beard that gets...
Because he doesn't seem like a character that would have a beard.
I mean, you're not wrong. He seems like babyface guy.
Not even necessarily babyface. It's just that I feel like he shouldn't have a beard or any long beard because I feel like that would be...
It's like the same thing as having like long hair.
Yeah, like chill or something. Like you wouldn't be freaking like a stick up your ass.
I love that of all of his personality traits, like all of the horrible ones, it's the beard. It's the beard that gets you.
I'm very particular.
How dare he have a beard?
How dare you?
He doesn't feel like he should have a beard, point blank, but...
He also has full lips.
Yes, cheers.
Yeah, I think the way he should have gone about it is he should have straight up just made a deal with Violet, which that comes into our next episode. Where I think he should do it is in the next 4 chapters, not in these 4. But either way, I feel like he should just make a deal with Violet and be like, "Hey, if you can get a dragon or do whatever, like, good for you, I'll drop it. You succeeded. You, like, great. I don't have to stress about you dying before we get anywhere. Besides, like, the normal dying of war and all that's going on." I can see him stressing and everything because Violet's Violet. And he's grew up with her. As far as I'm concerned, he's like a brother to her.
Yeah. They grew up together. They spent, like, all of their free time together. Like,
I think...
practically siblings.
Pretty much. I think Violet got a crush on him just because he's the only family that she was... Not family. Only person that wasn't family that was around her.
Yeah.
Consistently. Not just people coming and going kind of thing. And so I was like, I think that's where that's from. And I think she's like, as we're getting through the story and she has to interact with him and like see all these other people and discover more about herself, is she's learning that she's getting over her crush essentially. And Dane's still seeing her as a 12-year-old. Okay, maybe not all the time because man's...
Well, yeah. Well, like, for the most part, he's just treating her like she's still this little kid that was playing hide and seek in the woods with him, I don't know, like 5-6 years ago.
Well, I
Unless
mean,
they were playing it like when they were like, she was 19 and he was 20. But I mean, to each their own.
nostalgia.
Yeah. Gotta let her grow up. Make her own choices.
Meet new people.
Yeah. Look at some fucking tattooed men.
I want to know who all has tattoos and all. Well, actually, correction, never mind. Everyone does. I don't know if everyone knows yet, but pretty much everyone technically has a tattoo, and the writers.
Except for the people that didn't bond.
Yeah, that's true. I get his point because he's concerned. Like, if you're just to remove the romance and everything, or even just the family, this is his best friend, and he's concerned about her dying because that's high, and the fact that she's not physically strong as everyone else or tall as everyone else is also increasing the odds. And it's like, wouldn't you want to do anything and everything in your power to try and save your friend?
See, but yes. But later, next episode, things go down. And how much would he really do to save his friend? You have to listen to the next episode.
Next episode. It's also interesting too, because I put on here, I have to go look exactly what it said, but there's like a tidbit of manipulation going on. I will admit that. Dane is being a little bit manipulative.
Oh, yeah. More than just a little bit. He is straight up being manipulative.
Some not quite toxic in friendships, that's a little manipulation. That's like, it's not really toxic. But when you're kind of just full on pulling out the like, do it for me?
Yeah.
That's crossing it.
The moment he whipped out the, if you don't do it for you, do it for me. And I was like, oh boy. Oh boy. Wow, you really just went straight off the cliff. Like, you were like easing on like the edge of the cliff of toxicity, kept getting pushed back a little bit, and then he found it. The moment he pulled that line. I was like, I hate him.
I love him. I can't. I just, besides the beard. Maybe I don't love him because of the beard. This is all a lie. It's always been a lie. Next episode, you find out.
That's him.
See, it's still the beard. Though he does have full lips. Look, they drew him with the full lips.
Yeah.
He has some serious brows, though, man.
I was gonna say, he got brows.
Is that in the description? Him and his crazy brows? Oh my gosh, this author and her brow descriptions. Everything.
She do be loving to mention the brows.
Now I have to go look at my notes, man. Yeah, so he has a beard. He's built, sandy brown hair, scar peeking from the beard. He's good with languages. Rule follower, cares all about them rules. Oh yeah, is you have a character that we get introduced in this set of 4 tells Violet that Dane's the boy next door who can still kick your ass vibe going for him, and basically going, he's hot, I do it. And then he has a strong face with a perfectly trimmed beard that brackets full lips. That is the description. So nothing about his brows so far.
I hate the term full lips.
Agreed.
I hate it. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know a better way of phrasing it to say, like, he's got big lips. But, like...
Man got lips for days.
Yeah. And I'm like, the whole phrasing, full lips, just gives me the ick.
It's because it makes me think of, like, fake big lips that are, like, unnaturally big.
Yeah. I was like, the only other thing I could think of would be, like, plump lips. But I also hate that.
Maybe we just hate lips.
Maybe. That might be it. Any descriptor that you can put on lips, I'll probably hate it.
Her lips were shiny. Oh, covered in spit. Gross.
Ew. Icky.
Icky. There was also a mention, too, which I find really funny, and I'm going to harp on this some more because I probably maybe have harped on it already, is Violet sees Xaden, instantly goes, oh my gosh, this man's going to kill me. Freaks out. Anything with freaking Jack Barlow, she's just like, I don't care. And it's like, girl, he's developing a hate club against you. You had crushed violets left on your bed. That is a distinct, like, psychopath, crazy person level threat. And you're just like, whatever. Oh my gosh, Xaden.
Literally, she's like, she finds the, like, crushed violets on her bed, and she's like, oh, they're just flowers. I'm like, girl, that is a threat. Which, I mean, granted, they've been threatening her since day 1. So, like, I guess after 2 months you get used to it a little bit, but still, like, Also, how did they get into her room?
Well,
Lock your door.
we get that answer is because we know the Jack hate squad. Well, the Jack squad that hates Violet. That's how. Because she doesn't have her own room yet.
Well, yeah, but like, I'm assuming that like, because she shares a room with Ree, I think.
I thought it was like the whole squad shared a room first years or something. The unbounded all share to some degree.
I don't know.
That's a good question. Yeah, what it's crazy to me is you have Zayden who all he does is stand there and just smirk at her, essentially, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
He's even illustrated that he has Shadow Mojo Jojo. Yeah. Pretty much could kill her and get away with it very quick and very easily. You have Jack Barlow, who has snapped a guy's neck on the sparring thing, on the parapet, throw them off, freaking was very close to getting Violet. He literally shown himself to be an active threat.
Yeah. I worked to make a hate club. Like,
bro has nothing better to do with his life.
Literally, I was like, bro, when are you training? Because, like, right now, all you're doing is going after Violet. And for why? Because she held a knife to your balls?
He went and just started gossiping to everybody and started forming a Violet hate club.
Oh, yeah. It's just Mean Girls. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, but...
Hear me out. Once again, Jack and Violet.
No.
He's putting so much energy into it.
He should put energy into not being a horrible person.
Well, that too.
And then I'll consider it.
Honestly. Also, speaking of toxic people, because it's funny, is Violet even has a quote in chapter 9 pretty much telling herself not to go after toxic men, referring to Zayden. She's just like, don't be attracted to toxic men, ignoring her own attraction.
Yeah.
Trying really hard. But then you have Dane right there.
Yeah, it's her being like, I'm not attracted to toxic men. And then she's like, well, except for like right now, sounds good.
Have you seen Zayden?
Yeah. Like,
for me, it's not so much his appearance, just the fact that he's helpful.
Yeah.
Well, being a dick.
He'd be helpful. Okay. I love that about him though. Because he's like, yeah, here are tips that'll keep you alive. And she's like, rah, no, you can't help me. You want to kill me. And he's like, I may want to kill you, but like, don't die first. Like,
I say dick. He's so nonchalant about all of it. I can't really say dick. Violet thinks he's a dick,
yeah.
But really, I feel like he's just existing and is just stating the facts.
Yeah, every time.
But so that's pretty much chapter 9. Along with, we get some nice little tidbit information. We get notes that they're now 4 weeks until threshing. And also the fun little tidbit of a dragon would do anything to protect the Veil and their hatching grounds. Which leads me into a question to ask Ray, because I'm constantly forgetting and I kind of know what it is, but I'm still forgetting and it gets confusing. And they kind of mention it and rhyme several times throughout so far. What is the Veil?
The Veil is where, like, their hatching grounds are and, like, where they live. It's Dragonland. We're gonna get copywritten. Let's not include that.
You can get away with saying Dragon Tales.
Maybe like the first one.
Dragonland.
Yeah, it's where the like dragons are, and it has the hatching grounds for all of their like little babies.
The
babies.
So that's pretty much for chapter 9. And then going to chapter 10 is where we get into the Gauntlet.
Gauntlet training.
This is where we get their first practice session into the Gauntlet, and we get all that information. And we get to see more of how Violet's first year squad kind of mates and everything, and everyone interact with each other. What is the Gauntlet? It's a giant obstacle course that's testing their balance, strength, and agility. It's to weed out the cadets. I was going to say candidates.
Yeah.
And it's apparently named after the cliff that guards the Veil. First reading about the Gauntlet is that it's a weird mashup of Ninja Warriors and Wipeout.
Yeah, 100%. Especially with the wall at the end.
Straight ripoff.
Yeah, just picked up and plunked. That, and then like the like chimney
Oh, yeah. It's still weird that it's called chimney.
I mean, if it's straight up, it makes sense to me, which is how I imagine it in here. But yeah, the whole like, yeah.
I always thought it was like a spider wall, but that might be when it's horizontal. And I was thinking of it horizontal for a bit before it went to vertical. Before I went and registered, I was like, oh, it should be vertical, not horizontal.
See, I know damn well I'd die on the first obstacle. I'd make it 15 feet up because you probably have to climb something to get to the actual obstacle. I'd get hit by a spinning rod of death, and then I'd fall.
Is that the first section? I thought that was like the second or the third.
I think it's the second or the third.
The first one, I think, is just balancing and running, which leads me to the question, because it's like spinning like beams or logs. Yeah. It's like at standstill, but they can spin, or are they like actually spinning?
See, that's what I was wondering, because it makes sense that they're just sitting still, and if you step like off to the side, they'll start spinning. But it would be more of a challenge if they were already spinning, but then who do you have over there like cranking it to make it spin? Because it's like they don't have technology for that. Like,
yeah, they really don't have any mentions of technology, period.
Like, I don't even think they have guns. So, like, we're way back in the backpack.
Yeah, because we've seen a long sword. There's mention of, like, swords and stuff.
Yeah, swords, daggers.
Magic.
Yeah.
Dragon magic.
Oh, they could probably use magic to be like, and spin.
Oh, you're right, because you get the locking the doorknobs.
Yeah.
Doorknobs, doors. Dorian the door.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I got problems. I'm assuming they're just at standstill and they can spin just whenever you're stepping on them wrong, because that's how American Ninja Warriors was.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Also, like, if you step, like, off to the side, if you put your entire weight down, like, let's say you're running and you step slightly off, you are just going, thump, and, like, probably hitting, like, 13 and a half different bones on your way down.
Splat.
Because it's also going to be one hell of a time trying to grab that as you're falling.
Ooh, that's going to hurt even if you if you go forward and just, you're still going to spin off too.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, they have the ropes, like, every so often.
Every 6 feet.
Damn, how did you remember that off the bat?
Because I was questioning how helpful these ropes are and the placements of them.
I don't think they can be that helpful.
Like, unless you plan for it. But if you're, like, in the middle of somewhere, you're screwed.
Yeah.
It's, like, just for you to go through and look at an obstacle and be like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that. And just, like, take the rope out.
Yeah. Which also, like, the rope doesn't go all the way down. Where does the rope go?
Yeah, I don't even know where the rope starts or where it ends. That's a good question.
Like, I just imagined a, like, I don't know, like a 6 foot long rope just hanging out of a cliff.
I think because it's, like, built into the cliffside or something.
Yeah.
I think, it's, like, attached to, like, the wall of the cliff.
Yeah.
So it's just...
But, like, you're just gonna dangle there until you decide to let go?
Good question. Unless you have to climb up it, maybe.
Maybe.
That's a good question.
I need someone to draw this for me.
The gauntlet confuses me on so many levels that I just kind of read it and I just kind of go, uh-huh. Yeah, totally. I have no idea what to be picturing right now. That's a whole thing. And of course, to start off with Gauntlet to show us what it is, I guess, and how to do it is Sawyer, who's the alumni of the group, because he's done it before.
Yeah, he's the repeat. He's the unbonded from last year.
In which case, it gets noted somewhere that it's weird that he wasn't unbonded, or it's weird that he didn't bond with a dragon.
Yeah, because he had, like, some great time or something. Because they mentioned, like, how great his time was, and after he's like, time doesn't, or like, who was that? Someone was giving him shit that even with his time, he still didn't bond, and he was like, time doesn't mean anything to dragons.
Yeah, it was, I guess, probably in this chapter. It wouldn't surprise me. This one, or 11 or 12, somewhere in that mess. Yeah, Sawyer is mentioned as being, like, he's smart, he's strong. Even the squad and stuff he was in, he had a great time. And yet he still didn't get a dragon. And he even mentioned himself. He was like, yeah, no, the last person, they got a bond. Your time doesn't matter. you can be the last person and a dragon will still bond with you. Because the gauntlet helps decide like order for like presentation day. And then because each squad has to practice, they get an hour time slot for their whole squad to practice before the next one comes through for the gauntlet. In which case, I think even the professor was like, y'all gonna need every second.
Yeah.
Side eyes Violet. And then at this point, it's noted that they're 2.5 weeks from presentation. Violet, because she goes through and names everyone in her squad, and somehow we get another person added.
Yeah, like, girl, you just forgot that this person was here. Be for real. Like,
Violet kills me. But so we have in her squad of the first years, because of course there's second and third years, which we don't interact much with, is so out of all the first years who are the ones, you know, dealing with the gauntlet and everything, you have Sawyer, Pryor,
yeah,
Trina, Tynan, Ree, Riddick, Violet, O'Reilly, and Luca.
Orally.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hate that. I like O'Reilly better.
Yeah.
Orally.
Yeah.
Orally.
I hated that.
Okay, we got ridiculous. Might as well. Anyway, so as we notice that I bully everyone for their names. My favorite part too is I still have to figure out why I put Sawyer in all caps at some point. Yeah. Is that the next set? That's for the next episode.
That's for the next episode.
So find out next episode, along with my cell phone, why on earth I adore Sawyer.
I don't even think we're gonna remember.
Like, I have to hunt him down.
I do love Sawyer, but I don't know. He's not in my like top favorites. He's a good guy, but like,
I don't know. He did something. But we also get to find out too that not including their first practice section, they get 9 more practice sessions until presentation with the gauntlet. And also, if we haven't stated already, there's 5 stages to the gauntlet. So basically at this point in the story, with the information told and everything, is Violet's been in the quadrant for 7 weeks total, almost 2 months. It feels way longer.
Yeah. Although, like, for her being there only 2 months, she's had surprisingly very few injuries.
Yeah.
Granted, she's been poisoning everyone who could fight her in the thing that they're allowed to injure her in, but I feel like even still, like, she's holding up.
Valid. Because, like, for me personally, with my, like, joint issues and everything I have, it literally, sleeping causes me issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just the other day I woke up, and by the time I left my room, I had to turn around and go back to my room to get my ankle wraps to wrap my one ankle because my Achilles tendon all of a sudden decided it wanted to cause me pain. And so I was walking around with my ankle wrapped for like an hour or two before it chilled and I could remove it and walk around fine. No reason.
Nope.
So it's kind of interesting what's like used and not used for Violet. It's very much, I feel like, plot driven more than anything. Mm-hmm. And then at the very end of the chapter, we get a little, once again, Xaden. We get a little Xaden time again, where he has Xaden. I didn't spell Bodhi's name correctly.
I saw that and I was waiting. I thought about copying it and pasting it somewhere.
We got not Bodhi, we got Bohi.
Bohi.
No D. We're children here. And Garrick, who Violet noticed while she was after curfew, or not curfew, but dark.
Yeah, it was after curfew. Because
okay.
Something we didn't mention was that she watched like someone that she knew fall during like training of this.
Oh, is that during this?
It's during this.
Oh, I didn't even note it.
It was during this because whenever they get back, she had just gone and taken all of her belongings to burn. And she's like sitting in the corner having an existential crisis of like, someone that I actually knew looked me dead in the eyes before she fell and died. And so she's just sitting in the corner having an existential crisis. And then they come in and she's like, I know that Xaden knows I'm here, but I don't really care.
Her run on the practice, and she gets to the spinny death logs that move, and if you screw up, you're dead. And you have Orally. I'm going to say
Is that who died?
Yes.
Okay.
You have
was like,
her
oh my
behind Violet, and you get a little backstory on her, a little bit more backstory because we got some previously. But her family is dragon riders, or at least her dad was. He built obstacle courses and everything to help the children and everything. And so she's been wanting to be a rider since she was little. She's been practicing for it. She knows everything. So she tells Violet, hey, just run. If you hesitate, you're dead. Just go, don't stop. And what happens is when Aurelia goes through it, a big dragon, I think it was like a green one or something, flies overhead. And I think that's what distracts her. And that moment distraction, she gets yeeted off, essentially. She gets shoved off and she makes eye contact with Violet right when it happens.
Yeah, because Violet, like, tries to, like, run back and, like, reach out for her, but, I mean, there's not much she could do at that point, like...
Even if she was closer and, like, within arm's reach, Violet would have just been yanked off with her. They were both going down, but yeah, so she was pretty much born and bred to be a dragon rider. That's her entire life. I even made notes in her file saying that's kind of culty.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little. And her dad was in fact retired last year from being a rider. And fun fact, we get a random character once again mentioned. Her brother's name is Chase. She has a brother, and her father's in the southern wing. Don't know what that means, but he's in the southern wing.
It was like...
I think like
it was
like
the...
war front.
Yeah, war fronts, and they see like the second most amount of battle or something. It's like briefly mentioned.
Their family gets the option to come and get their stuff and burn it personally themselves, or the college will do it for them. And so, for whatever reason, her family chose the second option, and they weren't coming to get any of her stuff. So hence, Violet's the one doing it.
Yeah.
Violet felt like it was her responsibility.
Yeah, since she was the last person that Orly saw before she left.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
They make it really dramatic, but in very much hindsight, it's hard to feel anything when you don't know them very much at all.
Yeah. What we know about her was from, like, the conversation they had this day, for the most part.
Stuff previously is just that she's built like Mira, has no nonsense black eyes, and is hyperactive.
Yeah. I was like, mainly just physical appearance and, like, one personality trait, but we don't know anything about her backstory until this day. So, like, I don't feel, like, super connected to her, so whenever it happened, I was like, damn, that sucks, but also, like, you weren't the main five, so I don't want to say that I don't really care, because I do, but, like,
yeah.
I'll forget in 5 chapters.
Yeah, I've already forgotten. Yeah, I even knew someone died, too. I was just thinking it was later on.
Yeah, no, it was this one, because she's out there having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, that would explain. I can't believe I've forgotten to pick a note. Write that as a note. Dang. I'm mean. To be fair, I was like probably reading this at 1 a.m. and trying to type. And so Xaden pretty much tells his buddies to go on without him, and he meets up with Violet, and they kind of stare at each other, said some words, move on.
Yeah, just like, I mean, I feel like that conversation's pretty memorable for me, at least, because, like, she's like, when are you gonna kill me? Because if you're gonna do it, just get it over with, because I'm tired of the waiting. And he's like, whoa, what happened?
She's on the fritz.
Like, she's losing it. She had a horrible day. She watched someone that she knew, like, fall to their death. And he's like, oh, so just because you learned that life is fickle right now, that's gonna be what sends you over the edge. Because she's like, because at this point, like, in this conversation, it's mentioned that Xaden knows that Dane's been trying to get her to go to the scribe quadrant.
Yeah.
Like, that's mentioned in this conversation, and she's like, how do you know that? He's like, shadows. I know everything that goes on here. Also, he's like, the top of the top. Like, he's gonna know what's going on underneath him. And, like, he's like...
And they're not subtle.
Yeah. And he's like, just because you watched someone you knew die, that's gonna send you running.
Pathetic.
Yeah. But
To be fair, from Zayden's perspective, he is third year. He is a wing leader. He's seen who knows how many people die. Who knows who's been close to him that's died.
Yeah.
And he couldn't save them. Same with Dane.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how different they take essentially their lessons from their first year. Because Dane's pretty much I can save you. Please let me save you. And Zayden's like, you need to get better. You will die.
Yeah. Which I hate Dane. But like, I understand wanting to keep someone safe that you love. But also like, she was put in this position. She doesn't have much she can do about it. Also, like, she's put in enough of the effort that the last thing she wants to do is feel like she's starting over.
She's too in deep.
Like,
so to, I guess, move on from that topic, because we've discussed Dane versus Zayden a few times now. They should just kiss already.
They should. The real enemies to lovers.
So I get a couple questions that comes around between that chapter, I think chapter 10 really, for these ones. So like we mentioned, is Orly's dad is retired. How does a dragon rider retire? Like, how does retirement work?
I feel like they just reach so many years and then they are like, oh, I'm done. Although I feel like it's kind of like hinted on that dragon riders don't really retire. They die. Like, so yeah, I don't know.
As far as ice, it seems to me the only thing that makes rational brain sense to me, since this is military and they're at war, is while they're all in their primes and stuff, they're on active duty. And so whatever age they decide is okay, you've done your service, you can still do your service because you're a dragon rider and you're still somehow alive, is you can do, I guess, like be a professor or something, or do more paperwork, because I think they describe her dad doing paperwork.
Yeah, I was like, he does paperwork now. So probably, I feel like they get to like an age where they've managed to live this long and they're like, their bodies are going out because aging. I mean,
just look at like sport players.
Yeah.
They don't get that old, but their bodies get wrecked.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's probably 30s, 40s.
See, that was what I would think.
Most die in their 20s.
Also, how much money are they making that they can just retire?
They haven't really talked about money, period.
Yeah. Like,
does money exist?
I'm not convinced. It definitely does, because of things that happen. It's a society, and things are mentioned later in the series. But it definitely does.
All right, so to continue on, is also, it's mentioned for the gauntlets that the gauntlet is
There's
named,
only one.
Yeah, is named after gauntlets, which is like the battle gloves, gauntlets.
I thought it was named after the cliff that guards the veil.
It is, but they also mentioned that something about it's like because it's slippery. There was like some line on it because it made me confused because they're talking about the actual armor equipment. But they say that the gloves are slippery. And I'm like, why would you be wearing metal gloves that are slippery?
Yeah, I didn't catch on to that line. But
this is me now hunting down that line because it was so odd. It was specifically because it said slippery. Yeah, chapter 10. Plus, okay, so it's called the Gauntlet because this is the cliff that guards the veil, Professor Emeterio says. Plus, actual gauntlets, armored gloves made of metal, are slippery as hell, and the name stuck about 20 years ago.
Oh.
Which doesn't make sense for gauntlets to be
slippery.
Because
you have to hold weapons.
So we went and looked it up because it was bugging me. And it's literally, they're like, yeah, it's for protection. And also, they have like non-slip stuff on like the gloves for you to hold your weapons and make sure you keep your weapons on you.
Maybe this is pre-non-slip.
Like just straight metal, like no leather or anything?
Just straight up metal. Metal gloves.
Someone's stupid.
Yeah, they look cool.
My other thought for too, which this gets into more like fantasy and like video games and stuff, is like the giant big metal ones that they use to punch people. is I imagine that there's like just a bar they're holding on to keep their fists in like protective fist position while they just beat people up.
See, whenever you first said gauntlet, my brain envisioned a goblet.
Ooh.
And I was like, that's wrong. Like a chalice. And I said, we survived.
All hail the king. I hope that's picked up. just Ray making the sipping noise. Someone's going to hate that.
A lot of people are going to hate.
I'm going to be the one editing too. And watch me leave it in.
Please keep it in.
Which also then I get into some mention with the word dragonkind mentioned in a sentence. Because I wrote it down with a bunch of question marks because it confused the hell out of me. Because I was like, what are they talking about?
It's like humankind. Like all human.
Yeah, but it was like
dragon.
Didn't make sense in the sentence, I think. Watch me. Another time I'm searching up another word. Dragonkind. There we go. I think it's this line here. So, it's when Violet is reciting her knowledge to keep herself cool. So she goes on about orange dragons. No, never mind. That's not the one that's confusing. Because that one makes sense. Because it's orange dragons being the most unpredictable of dragon kind. And therefore always at risk. Maybe, let me look at the other one. It could be I was just reading it at freaking 1 a.m. and didn't understand words. You know, I'm pretty sure this is the line here. And I'm pretty certain it's once again me just reading it with a dead brain and not understanding words. And so this one's about green dragons. And once again, she goes on and she's like, they descend from the honorable blah blah line and continue to be the most rational of dragonkind. And I'm just like, who the fuck is dragonkind? What is dragonkind?
Dragonkind is the entirety of the dragons.
So anyway, so we're wondering what my IQ is. The answer is very low, especially if I'm tired.
Reading comprehension drops past midnight.
It's gone. But yeah, I wonder where she makes that comment because I have that as a question too.
Which comment?
Violet about the intelligence group. I don't know what chapter she makes that, but based on the fact that I then go, no, okay, so this must be closer to chapter 12 because then I ask about Violet going up the chimney. So I'm going to assume it's in chapter 12 or 11.
Yeah, I think it was her basically like placing herself in like a competition of the people around her.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So to ask the question for y'all, we're gonna be jumping a little bit forward before we go and discuss those chapters. But Violet gets into one point where talking about the patches, and she's noticing the patches on people's uniform and everything. Since Dane went through and was like, "Oh yeah, this is the intelligence group patch," and he's like, "Yeah, it's like the Secret Service kind of." Secret information group kind of thing because he's destined to be there since his signet ability. And so then Violet starts paying attention to all the writers with their patches and what they mean and all that, and specifically the ones in the intelligence group. And she goes through and makes this comment about needing to defeat the intelligence group. And I'm like, Violet, they're one of you. They're part of you. The intelligent group is in the same country as you. You're all the same citizens.
Why are you defeating them?
Why are you defeating them? Why do you need to,
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not what I was thinking. But yeah, why homegirl, why are you trying to defeat them?
Why you have a beef with the intelligence group? She's like, there's a secret intelligence group. I need to beat them. And it's like, they're your own secret intelligence group.
Yeah, they are working with you.
For you. Like, it's like if you had, it's different squadrons. Like, you'll have like infantry, you have the riders up in the air, then you have a specialized group dealing with intelligence. And she's like, I'm going to beat them up.
Yeah, that would be like her being like, I think we should go attack the scribes today.
Exactly.
Like, what do you mean?
Violet's a terrorist.
Book 4?
Book 4. But yeah, it's like it's just out of nowhere. Just like why? This is such a weird thought, Violet. Out of nowhere. So that's a question I have. So moving on to chapter 11, we get notes that for President presentation day, it
Not
has
President's Day.
I always want to say President's
I know. I did that earlier too, and I was like, not President's Day.
I can't read, y'all. By the way, my handwriting atrocious. But this isn't handwritten. This is on the laptop.
That's what this is typed.
But yeah, for presentation day, it's one of the deadliest stats for first years. It gets noted. And once again, we have Dane trying to save Violet.
Yeah. Fork found in kitchen.
Fork found in kitchen.
Fork was found in the silverware drawer or in the sink. Wow.
That's my problem with Dane is he is trying the same strategy over and over and over again.
Expecting a different result?
Yes.
You know what the definition of insanity is?
Oh, is that why I like him? He's insane.
Yeah.
But he's got a beard.
Yeah, you can't like him. He's got a beard.
But he has a scar with the beard.
But he's got a beard and bushy ass eyebrows.
Valid. Just let me have tweets.
Just
Let me and my imaginary dragon just kind of
just stress relief.
burn off, just
I give him a new scar.
I think we're establishing with the audience I'm crazy. And it's also noted that there's 171 first years before we get to presentation. So like they got to run the gauntlet to get to presentation. The part that I'm confused by is, does everyone have to do the gauntlet?
Yes.
Okay.
Even the quote unquote, like basically second years to the would be second years if they bonded. Yeah.
But do like actual second years and third years have to do it?
No.
That's what I thought. But it was kind of weird because at one point in the chapter, it sounded like a second year died. But I'm wondering if that's just someone that should have been second year.
I think so.
Okay. Because it was kind of an odd phrase, which, as we established, I was probably reading this at some ungodly hour of the night. Will I learn better?
No.
Find out next week. Well, actually,
the answer's no. Find out in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. The answer's no. I can already tell you.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. No.
Oh, no. Actually, it was. Because I read it this morning and afternoon. No. Yeah, I think, yeah. Because I didn't read any chapters previously. I read it all today.
Oh.
I already forgot half of it.
Wow.
So it was an ungodly hour of the morning. 9 a.m.
Ugh. I was asleep.
They have to go through the gauntlet to get to the field where presentation happens. And we are informed that 100 dragons are going to participate in threshing. So to clarify what presentation is, which is in the name, is dragons are all there to look at who they get to pick from and if they like any of them.
Or who they get to eat. Snack time.
Nom.
Nom 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 nom.
Chomp chomp. Billy, your foot!
Yeah.
Gotta use a name we haven't. They don't have normal names on here as far as I'm concerned, besides Violet.
Yeah.
I guess Sawyer, maybe.
Yeah.
Luca, loosely. But yeah, how to use somebody not related. So, continuing on for presentation, they go through the gauntlet in this section order of flame section, then claw, then tail. This is the section groups that they get in for, gauntlet and to do it. And as we go through, does someone else die? Or does no one else die for the gauntlet heading that we know?
There's one other person, I think.
Is that the unbonded second year that I think?
Yeah.
As I go through and look at my character list, because I make notes. See.
I think we should add another tab that's just called the graveyard.
Slay. I know right when they dismiss, which I didn't forget to mention, but Hedon, we get another character thrown in briefly.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly, because we just get him thrown in there for no reason. So he's a third year that's part of the squad. And he gets thrown in there right before they go through the gauntlet from presentation because he tells them good luck. That's all we get from him, just good luck. And we get a whole description. But he's a third year, known to be the thickest. Yeah, described as the thickest third year in their squad.
Oh, okay. What part is thick?
And then, wishes the first year's good luck for the gauntlet before heading off to class, because anyone who's not on gauntlet duty is dismissed.
In class.
Yep. He's noted as also having red flames cut and dyed into his hair. I thought he was going to have like flaming red hair, red flame.
No.
Nope. He has red flames cut and dyed into his hair.
I get a little confused with the cut part because I understand. See, I was imagining him like just buzz cut, but I guess if you like go like skin level to like draw out flames,
But then dyed,
and then like you dye the part underneath the lines.
maybe.
Maybe.
I'm just thinking like the emoji of fire just stamped into his hair and dyed. I might need to look at some fan art for that one.
What was his name again? Keaton?
Heaton, yeah. Heaton. Also, shout out to he gives a flat lipped smile. Shout out to Ray and me just making smile faces at each other. You will never see it.
Okay, that's not what I imagined. No flames cut or
Red.
okay. Well,
It's supposed to be red flames.
yeah.
When did Bro change his hair? I don't know about that fan art. Is that spoilers? Anyway, also because it's Violet, and this is when she's obsessed with the patches. As she notes that he has a circular patch on his upper right arm with water and floating spheres, and she's kind of like, "Oh, wonder what that is." And I'm like, so he probably deals with water, which is really funny compared to his name and his hair. You know?
So I didn't find it, but I found something arguably better. Oh, I love it. For anyone listening, it is like a 0.5 photo of Violet, but like just like from her forehead, but as a drawing.
Her eyes are going.
And her eyes are going out. Oh,
opposite directions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not finding any other sort of not go to Crunchyroll. Laptop.
Crunchy.
I said, what if we watched anime?
And then he also has triangular patch with the longsword, which means he's not to be messed with on the mat. So Bro was a menace.
Bro fights really well. That's what I get from it.
So I don't know how you get these patches at all. Or why specifically the triangle patch with a longsword means he knows how to throw hands on the mat. I'm thinking of like the sparring.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you would think the longsword would be like, I'm assuming maybe it's actually like sparring with swords on the mat, maybe?
Yeah.
Instead of just hand to hand.
Yeah.
And then, based on what Riddick stated, he's not one to talk, or at least not with the first years. He's not really talked with them, not really said anything. Riddick, I think, makes a comment going, he can speak.
Yeah. I feel like he kind of just has the mentality of why am I going to get attached to these first years when like 80% of them are going to die.
Valid.
Which, I mean, makes sense. Like, can't argue with that too much.
Honestly. So I'm going to assume, because I'm not seeing anyone at the moment on my list of never-ending characters, is that what happens is probably an unnamed character because I remember a comments being stated, but I don't think we get a name, is that they died on the gauntlet for the presentation day, and like some of the other second years gasped because it would have been in their year, but it's a repeat. Yeah. So it's like Sawyer. It's like if Sawyer suddenly got killed in the gauntlet, it would have shocked people because this isn't his first time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That happens. And then it's Violet's turn, and she's been struggling with getting through the gauntlet because of her height, specifically with the chimney and I don't think she's even got a attempt at the wall yet because she couldn't get past the chimney.
Yeah, she couldn't get past the chimney, and the wall's the next one, so she's like short. She's short. She's like, I can't span that far. Oh, that's also another thing that gets brought up in the conversation with Zayden. She's like, I can't span that far, and he tells her that the right way is not always, or
correct way.
The correct way is not always the only way, or something like that.
Yeah.
And like, so then she does fucking mental gymnastics, trying to figure out how to get up.
I've actually seen it on American Ninja Warriors. People too short for the spider wall. Mm-hmm. They like literally jump and their hands and legs don't touch, and they just go straight into the water. And I'm just like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you
just go wee.
There's nothing they can do.
Yeah, they did all that they could.
You know what? I wonder if That would have been insane, though. This isn't what she does, but I wonder if it's valuable if she had more muscles. Because that would be an insane thing to do. If she would have, because if they're doing like your hands stretched out and your legs stretched out, like I'm talking about, you wouldn't be able to. But if you do it the other way with your hands above your head and your feet and you go that way,
and then you like crawl
up like that, but you have to have a lot of muscles.
Yeah, you'd have to have insane ab strength.
Yeah.
Like crazy good ab strength.
But that would have been a one way for her to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because there's no way it's going to be like over 5 feet, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so instead they had that talk, and that because Violet's feeling extremely doomed with no insight when she's talking to Xaden, and Xaden kind of verbally slaps her to get over it.
Yeah.
Dane almost won.
He basically says, figure it out. Don't run away. Figure it out.
You're clever. Be clever.
Yeah. He's like, but I'm not going to give you help with that. You just get this pep talk. That's actually kind of a pep talk. It's like his first pep talk.
He actually was being a wing leader.
Yeah.
She was struggling, and he's like, this is the same chick that was poisoning her opponents. And now she's letting her height get the better of her. Come on, Violet. Gosh.
Yeah.
Be better.
Do better.
But yeah, so Violet, we don't even know as readers until she does it, what she does. And so she gets past all of it. She gets to that wall. And it was really hard for me kind of to conceptualize. I had to reread it a few times. And I'm still not entirely certain if I pictured it correctly. But she goes and grabs one of those ropes that's just hanging, assumedly drilled into like a spot or whatever into the cliffside. She grabs it, and I'm assuming she uses it like rock climbers kind of do.
Yeah.
And she is using it to hold on to, and she has her feet against the wall, and she's climbing up.
Yeah.
And it's barely long enough for her to get close enough to grab the ledge and drag herself up on top of the wall. Not wall. Well, I guess kind of, because it's the chimney.
Yeah, the chimney.
The top of the chimney. So she does that. There's some noises already being made in the background. And all of her probably squad's cheering her on.
Her squad cheering her on. The people that want her dead being like, she can't do that.
But so then she's finally faced with the wall, and she now has to think on the spot on how to get up there. And my thought process while reading this the entire time, because everything's like, you could die. And they're like, this is the gauntlet. You either make it through to presentation or you die. Those are the only two options. And I'm like, but if you get to the wall, how are you supposed to die? Because I don't think, like, there's like a runway for you to run, and then you go up and launch yourself to grab the ledge.
See, the only thing I could think of would either be, like, if they don't make it the first time, they like rub their hands together and then they dive off the end and they go, well, it was a good run. We tried. Or like if without them just choosing to fling themselves off the edge of a cliff, if like their momentum is taking them down so fast and they don't land on their feet and then they just like roll.
Oh.
That's the only other way I could think of.
Yeah, like maybe there's like, because there's not going to be like boundaries, so they can just like roll off maybe.
Yeah.
Or like off like the wrong side.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. And also, what are you supposed to do too if someone failed the first time, if they're still on their feet? They just try again.
Yeah. Tag team it. You just hold hands, run up, same time. Hope that you run at the exact same speed, get the same lift.
But yeah, so for people who haven't watched American Ninja Warriors, I guess go watch it. But the wall, for the most part, is more technique than anything else, unless you're really tall, and then you can pretty much just walk up and grab the ledge.
Yeah.
Which they don't even tell us how tall this wall is either.
This one's 10 feet.
Oh, it is told.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Which I don't know how tall normally the American Ninja Warrior is, because they've increased it over the years, and they've also added the mega.
Yeah, I think the mega is like 12, and then the other is like 8 or 10.
Yeah, because I know they've like over the years slowly made it a little taller too, the main one. So it's interesting because I went and looked in it, because talking with Ray, I was like, who's the shortest person to have even gone up that? Just out of curiosity for Violet, because she's, as we said, like 5'0" And I want to say when I went and Googled it, it was like a 5-foot guy or a 5'1" guy, maybe both. Compared to Violet, it's short men who are extremely buff.
Yeah, who've like nonstop worked out to compete in this for years, and versus her with horrible joints, her 5'0" frame, and like
6
having, 8 months
No.
at this point worth of training. So yeah, her odds aren't stacked very well.
So it's very much she's gonna need to come up with something. And so once again, this was something I had to reread and think on. But basically, she runs up the wall, takes one of her daggers, and stabs the wall, and uses it like to swing herself up. Is what she does.
Yeah, I feel like every time I imagine it, I don't imagine her swinging herself up. That's what it says she does, but I
Yeah.
just imagine her like pulling herself up.
Makes more sense.
Yeah.
Based on motion.
Yeah, because you're not going to get the side to side swinging.
Unless you jump sideways, I guess.
Yeah, if you jump sideways or like,
But I still
unless she like
think-
dangles there for a little bit and like it's that sideways momentum, but just lifting herself up. But also like whenever she stabs it, her like shoulder like pops out of socket.
Yeah.
So how are you going to swing with that? Sounds painful.
Yeah, it's the whole thing kind of read weird. And so the only thing is like, yeah, if she like kind of pulled herself up, but once again, her joints apparently suck even for that, even though she's been building up those muscles. But yeah, so either way, she gets up and then she leans back over the wall to yank her dagger free, which I had to talk to Ray before this, because it confused me on how's this girl getting this dagger in the wall that was in there and stable enough to drag herself out while she's like dangling back over to grab it? Like, what leverage is she using to pull it out?
Yeah, I mean, I imagined her just like propping her elbow on like the side of the wall and using that sort of leverage.
Which makes more sense than me thinking she's just has her torso dangling off and she's just like pulling it with no leverage.
Yeah. Although it's a good thing that like Jack wasn't up there because he would have pushed her off.
Oh, hands down, without hesitation.
What would have happened if she dropped the dagger? Because it has to go with her.
So that's a good question. I wonder if it's essentially going to be them telling her that she has to get it herself if she wants it. Like, if you lose something that's yours, it's on you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not the responsibility. Now, if someone steals it, that's another thing. But if she loses it, like, let's say it falls off a cliff, like, what are you going to do?
It's the same thing as if her foot fell off the cliff
What are you going to do?
in the codex.
Yeah. Be like, what are you going to do? Oh, well, you lost your foot.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, fair enough.
Where I also have really fun reading that whole thing, besides Amber losing it, is then you also have Dane kind of debating. He was both happy and not happy.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny. Xaden in charge of all of this chaos because he caused it and he's the one overseeing it.
Yeah, and her in this argument with Amber in front of Xaden looks at him and repeats his words that like the correct way is not always the right way. She was like, yeah, and I used his words against him.
What kills me about this is just that Violet sees Xaden as the enemy. And so she has to prove herself to all these people. And I'm just over here thinking her repeating his words back to him is probably just Xaden going, yeah, you do that.
Yeah, he's like at this point kind of like her biggest, not like her biggest supporter, but like he's a like secret supporter.
He's fangirling behind the scenes.
Yeah, like I know there are butterflies in his tummy when this moment happens.
Oh, 100%.
I know it. Because they've been nonstop flirting. And you're going to tell me that her using your own words against you is not going to make you go, oh.
She listened?
Yeah, like she actually listened to a thing that I said.
He didn't know what she was going to do. And seeing her be clever, bro was probably already happy and being like, she did it. She figured it out. And then he's literally now challenging her to keep going and get herself out of this mess that she created. And he's doesn't say anything because it's going to ruin it if he does. She has to be the one to say it and argue. And she succeeds in doing so. And he gets to just smile and be like, works for me.
He's like, ha, nice.
Amber goes storming off going,
She's like, I can't believe I didn't get my way. I read the codex and I believe in it and I follow all of the rules and I didn't get my way. I'm like, shut up.
trying to decide. I'm like, it's kind of culty vibes, but
To me, she just reads as someone who will kiss someone's ass to get higher up.
see, for me, it just seems like in this moment, like she's way too obsessed about the rules, but in like such a way, like obsession with specifically how it's stated and why it's there and all this. Like the fact that she was like, it's because it's designed to make
Theft.
a killable offense. Like that's what it means. Like you're twisting the meaning. It's not stated in there.
It's not stated that you can't twist the meaning.
So it's interesting. Also, how heated she gets over this too. Personal beef.
Literally, I was like, calm down. It's not that serious.
And Dane was like good friends with her
Yeah.
last year. Explains a lot, doesn't it? Crazy.
I was crazy once.
No, Rat, you can't do this. You can't do this to me, Rat. That's where that goes for chapter 11. Is so we end up with Violet winning. And then we move on to chapter 12. Yeah.
True.
And so we find out, so from the original, what was it, 171 or 174?
171.
171 people. Oh, yeah, here it is. I'm blind. We're down to 169 people that made it through the gauntlet.
Which also, they only lost 2 people in the gauntlet. Kind of impressive.
Really impressive since they only had 10 attempts.
Yeah.
Well, not 10 total attempts. I guess it'd be 10 one-hour
Like,
sessions.
Yeah. 10 practice sessions.
Which who knows how many people died in those practice sessions.
A lot.
So for this to be the deadliest statistics so far, not too shocking at the moment. And for all, we didn't even mention, but you have Tynan. He's part of Jack's hate squad against Violet, but he's on Violet's own team.
Yeah.
So traitor among us. He hates Violet, sees her as weak, listens to the Bible of Jack.
Not the Bible of Jack.
The Bible of Jack, who preaches about Violet is the devil.
Yeah.
To be fair, she is short.
Yeah. How dare she be short? How dare she be short with bad joints?
I hope there are somebody who's 5'0" on here listening and just dying of laughter.
I hope so.
Yes, he's part of that cult, the cult of Jack, who's against Violet. And he makes all kinds of comments and everything. And he hopes Violet dies, doesn't want their time screwed up because of Violet. He's like the weakest link's gotta go attitude because it's the cult of Jack, the Bible Jack. And of course, Riddick and the rest of the team is like, shut up. Well, maybe not the entire rest of the team, but Riddick and Ree, who take a bat for Violet, kind of put him in his place a couple times. And despite all of this craziness, they end up 11th out of 36 groups.
Yeah, which they're celebrating that they're not dead last. That's really good.
They're not even half, way.
Yeah, like you made it in the top half. In the top third,
Yeah.
even. Granted, you weren't the first group, but also, what are the odds of you being the top one? 1 in 36. Those are the odds. But
Math.
thanks, I can put a 1 over how many groups there are. But you made it as 11 with your 30-second penalty for using the rope on the chimney.
Oh, yeah. Violet gives herself her own penalty. Well,
yeah.
Sorta gives herself the own penalty. It's the practice penalty of if you use the rope, that's 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So despite even 30 seconds add-on and everything, and Violet supposedly being the weakest in the whole first years, they still ended up 11th.
Yeah. Y'all did pretty good.
Y'all need to celebrate. That's good.
Yeah. I'd be celebrating if I made it through.
And so they get in their lines and everything to then walk through.
And get looked at by dragons.
And so it's noted that the average height for the dragon is 25 feet from Violet, which I don't know how tall 25 feet is, but it feels both tall and short at the same time.
Oh, I never noticed that she said that. So whenever you said that, I was like 25 feet away from that? No, 25 feet tall.
Yeah.
I don't know height. I'm bad at height. I feel like that's roughly the size of a house. That feels right. It's like your typical doors, like 8 feet.
So, according to Google AI, who lies all the time, who knows how accurate this is, it claims that 25 feet is roughly 2 to 3 stories.
Okay. That's bigger than I was imagining.
So that is bigger than I was imagining.
I was like, your typical door is about 8 feet. So I was like, roughly 3 doors stacked on top of each other.
It's probably something like 2 floors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm going to go with 2 floors. So like a 2-story house. That makes more sense to me. So yeah, she makes note of that. And I was like, I have no idea what that means because I don't height.
Yeah, I skipped right over that because I was like, yeah, that sounds right.
Works for me. And so how this works is they're pretty much stated, don't group together because if dragon finds one of you,
they say to keep 7 feet in between each other.
Yeah, they said but they're like, don't group up either because if one of you offends the dragon, y'all get incinerated too. We want you actually to be certain feet apart. That way they can get a look at you. Don't clump up together.
And so that they can incinerate you if you
look
at them wrong.
And they're like, you see scorch marks? Wait till the flames go out, then keep walking.
Yeah.
And so Violet tries to remember what she's taught about dragons and stuff like that while she goes along. Don't look them in the eyes, be respectful, all that. And they're also stated, which was a funny little interaction because the person just goes, talk. And it's like, huh? It's like amongst each other, show personality.
Yeah.
The dragons want to know you. Dance, monkey, dance.
Yeah.
You got to entertain them. And you better be a good entertainer. Otherwise, they don't throw rotten tomatoes at you. I can tell you that much.
Flames and claws. Rawr.
XD. I don't even know how they pick the order that they go in, but on the going through one way, because you have to walk across the field and then turn around and come back. I forget how the order goes, but
I think they just put themselves in an order.
And so Violet has, I forget who in front of her, but then behind her, I thought she had Tynan.
I thought she had Riddick behind her.
Maybe Tynan's in front. I just know going through, there's Tynan. On the way back, Riddick's behind her.
I think.
So I want to say it's Ree, because
Ree is behind Tynan. Imagined was Tynan, Ree, Violet, Riddick, and then all the others.
Looking it up just out of curiosity. Also before this, Garrick's the one giving them orders. And I actually kind of like Garrick as he's noted in here. Because he's tone is all business. Style is more mission first, niceties last. As he's telling them what to do. I thought it was funny. Also, they noted too, this is why I also loved it too, is that Violet notes that all of his patches are advertising his skill with a multitude of weapons. And I went, scary with weapons. I like this man.
I never paid attention to it, if I'm being honest. He's there. But I feel like I like that he is I'm good with all of these weapons. But I feel like that leaves no mystery to him. So I'm like, yeah, if I need to know any information about you, it's easy to find out.
He's a nerd about weapon and good about it.
Weapon nerd.
He also has hazel eyes.
Oh, Cisco.
Let's see. Yeah, because he mentions, you have to walk straight down a line, at least 7 feet apart, in case one of you gets torched. Cluster if you want. Just know if a dragon finds disfavor with one of you, he's likely to burn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Luca is nearby, too.
Yeah. I hate Luca.
Shout out to Garrett. Violet notes is she's pretty certain he's also annoyed by Luca.
I think everyone's annoyed by Luca. Luca is just always complaining about everything and just being such a jerk to everyone on her team.
She's the mean girl, like
Yeah.
full-blown mean girl. Okay, let's see. I'm getting closer to that part now. So Tynan is in front of Violet.
Okay.
So I think Ree's behind her.
Yeah, that makes sense, I think.
Wait, here. Yeah, Ree's behind her because she looks over her shoulder to talk to Ree. So on the way through, we have Tynan in front and Ree's behind.
Okay.
And so you have Tynan making his horrible comments, which he doesn't have a brain cell around these dragons.
Yeah.
This also baffles me, is how this whole time for presentation, how they talk around these dragons and everything. These are majestic creatures that.
And you're gonna be talking shit about your teammates in front of them?
Yeah, or like about the dragons.
Yeah. Because that's what Luca does. Luca just talks shit about them.
Yeah, you're making you're like making yourself look bad. You're not even like making the other people look bad. You're making yourself look bad. You're supposed to be a team. When you're on like military wise and everything, the whole point of all this is you're a team. You need to be a team. That's like you need teamwork.
Yeah.
And if you're showing that you hate your teammates, the dragons aren't going to like you.
Yeah.
You're going to be seen as a problem. But yeah, it's funny because Tynan is like talking about dragons like he's the one that gets to pick them, not the other way around.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you're walking up to this 25-foot fucking creature with claws and wings and a fancy tail and going, I like you. You're mine now.
That's not how this works.
That's not how this works. If you do that, you're going to get chomped and or scorched and or sliced and diced.
Or chomped.
Like,
Violet even comments about that too, and is like, "This freaking guy's an idiot."
yeah.
So that happens, and so it's interesting because they're bickering the whole time, and so that happens as they're walking, and before they even start walking. But it's noted before they start walking, but also when you get to the end, is that there's a feather tail, and I have to look at who I didn't make a note, but people they start bad mouthing this feather tail, which is crazy to me because like you have this dragon that's never or like hardly ever like once in freaking hundreds of years maybe is shown outside the veil. Like humans never see it.
Yeah. There's like no research done on them.
Yeah,
because we never see them.
And this is like once in a lifetime. Like this, like not even once in a lifetime, but it's an opportunity that people who like are obsessed with dragons are dying to see and experience, and they're bad mouthing this dragon. Like you gotta be crazy. It like gives off the vibe of if there's a queen dragon who shows up, they just start bad mouthing, and it's like, do you want to get scorched by these other dragons?
Yeah.
Come on. That goes on. They get to the end, of course, and you're supposed to turn around and then head back. And once again, they're all bickering.
Yeah. Teamwork, you know?
Woo! Of course, we've mentioned the people pretty much being the problem people is Tynan. We haven't really mentioned the other ones. Well, we briefly mentioned Luca. But then the other one is Prior.
Oh, I forget about Prior.
That's because he literally doesn't exactly exist besides like mentioning twice. And once again, it's kind of like orally. And so he's quiet and is known as being indecisive and quiet and meek.
Yeah. Cannot make a decision to save his life.
He also doesn't make it through a presentation. It was also kind of weird how he also gets scorched in the sense of it was just kind of I don't know, should we walk slower? I feel like we should walk slower.
Yeah, he was like, I don't remember who said it, but they were like, shouldn't we walk faster? And he was like, maybe. And then someone was like, shouldn't we walk slower? And he was like, maybe we should walk slower, but also maybe we should go faster. And then this dragon just came out and was like, you can't make a decision. Bleh.
It's like
Get scorched. Yeah.
It was kind of an odd, though, reading it, though, too. Because I think Ree's now in front of Violet.
Yeah.
And Violet's like, are you okay? And Ree's like, he's dead.
Yeah.
Pork found in kitchen.
Yeah. Death found in fourth wing.
And then Sawyer yells at them to keep walking. And so fire's out, you keep walking. Which is interesting because is he like a corpse there that's been like, or is he like full on incinerated? There's like nothing there but like a scorched ground. Because I've always just imagined full scorched.
That's what I imagined.
Yeah, like nothing's left. It's just the ground burning.
Incineration.
You have, I don't feel like mentioning too much, but you have like the Green Dragons, check out Violet, and Violet's like, oh yeah, the other green, I'm pretty sure it's Green Dragon. Her sisters.
What kind of dragon does Mira have?
I thought it was green, but I definitely did note it in Mira's file. Yeah, Green Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Tina? Tiny. That's Mira's dragon's name. Because as we don't really mention too often since the start, is she's still wearing, as she should, the dragon scale protections from her sister. And so somehow they're able to still smell that it's the other dragon scales Violet's wearing. And so they're probably all confused going, why do we smell, I'm assuming female dragon. I don't know.
I think so.
Okay. We're going with female dragon. Why are we smelling Tiny here? Why is she, why do you smell of her? And Violet's like, oh, and explains it.
Yeah.
In a quiet voice because nobody else needs to know. And I feel like if she answered it, like lied or answered anything slightly off,
she would have been incinerated
on the spot. I'd like full on, because I feel like that's borderline disrespectful. But at the same time, it's the fact that, hey, this dragon agreed to this and they're protecting her.
Yeah.
So I feel like that keeps also Violet from being scorched by any other dragon during presentation day, is which they're already heading back, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting little thing. But yeah, and then what was really interesting, speaking of this, is because you just had Prior get toasted, is at the this is how the chapter ends, which confused me the hell out of me the first time reading it, and even the second time reading it. Basically, Violet feels heat on her back, and she's freaking out thinking Riddick got blasted because he's behind her.
Yeah.
And Riddick then says, guess the dragons think she's insufferable too. And so that's all it's stated. And so it always confused me, like the first time reading it, and then even now when I reread it, I'm like, did Luca just die? Is that what they're saying?
I love this line because I feel like this is the first time we get to hear Riddick's actual joke. Because I feel like a lot of times it's like Violet being like, oh yeah, he said something funny. He said something snarky. And like, this is the first time we get to just blatantly hear it.
He's being a class clown.
Yeah.
Once in a while you get it, but more often than not, it's kind of just being noted by Violet. But yeah, it's also then the last line of the chapter is our squad is down to 6 first years. So we have Trina, Tyanan, Ree, Riddick, Violet, and Sawyer.
Yeah.
I somehow missed him. He's the first one labelable on here.
You also didn't put a comma.
Nope, we get Sawyer Prior.
Yeah.
So we're down to them 6. Also, I have Sawyer written here on odd caps. And I don't know what he does during the presentation walk, like several days after reading the chapter.
I think it's probably whenever, because you said that was...
We'll just type in his name here and look. Let's see. He's mentioned a lot in chapter 10. Gosh. Okay, chapter 12. Oh, this is why. Okay. Professor Kaori never told us there would be a feather tail, Sawyer says. I know because I memorized every single dragon he showed us, all 100 of them.
Oh.
And so I shouted that out because they mentioned that Sawyer is not only strong, he's also smart.
Yeah.
And so I was like, bro dedicated his time. So I put that there because I was like, he didn't get the dragon his first time through. This is his second time through, and he's doing the groundwork. He is dedicated and trying his best.
Yeah.
This man's hungry.
He said, I want it more than ever.
Pretty much. And so not only was he great, I imagine his first year through, and now that he's being a repeat first year, he is doing his best. He's like, I've memorized all the dragons. What is that dragon doing here?
Yeah, he's like, you shouldn't be here.
But the fact that, cause I imagine because he's done all this before, and so he's like,
Yeah.
he has the athletics. Nothing is surprising him. I'm imagining he's coped up, like, I don't know, library, his room, wherever, with the pamphlet of dragons and obsessing over all of it.
Oh, yeah.
This man's going full deep dive, like a girl FBI style. So that's why I have Sawyer in all caps. Because I was like, this man, full blown. And it's just those few lines. It really says a lot.
Yeah.
Just those few lines, it builds a lot for his character. And I'm now cheering this man on a lot, along with Garrett, who was just full on being like, no nonsense, get going. Let's see. And then let's see questions for this grouping. I think we got most of them as we've gone through. I just wanted to probably end off this grouping with, I came up with a question while we were chatting, is who would, I didn't even word this correctly by any means.
Good job.
Who do you think would be great at American Ninja Warriors?
Violet. I'm kidding.
She'd be entertaining.
Should be very entertaining.
She'd be the underdog we're all cheering for, and then within like the first stage, like that first obstacle fails.
Yeah.
Full built up, and then shoom. I think Sawyer at the moment after just
Yeah, I feel like Sawyer. I feel like Sawyer's just such an obvious answer, and I'm trying to think of like
prior would have probably never gotten to American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, he would have been like, oh no, which path do I take when there's only one?
Yeah. Like if he somehow managed to get on the show, he would have then freaked out and never showed up.
Yeah.
Or just like stood there being announced, freaked out, turn around, leave.
Orally, because for Ninja Warrior, you don't have dragons flying over you,
You're right.
and she spent her entire life training for it. So that's my answer.
You're right. Orally would be the one to continue with the terminology. The dad went through Ninja Warriors and he did great. And she's been trained by her dad and has been dying to do it.
Yeah.
To keep with the theme of the story, she would get like so close to the end and then somehow screw up.
I'm gonna let her win because she deserves a win. Also, like, what dragons are? I mean, we got airplanes that might distract her, but like, I feel like the screaming crowds are gonna mute out the airplane sound, so...
No, I feel like it'd be something simple, like...
her shoes untied.
No, like there's plenty of times where it's like you just get the bad grip when you jump or something, like something simple that you can't really... It was just an accident.
Yeah.
Or like if you dismount not quite correctly and like you barely miss the landing and you have that one foot that slides and hits the water.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Ree, I feel like Ree would do great too.
Ree would do great.
She's built.
Yeah.
So that's also, it's like Sawyer. It's like that's a no contest.
I feel like Riddick would do it and then like dab at the end.
Yeah, he'd be the one being silly.
Yeah. After every... like obstacle,
a backflip or something.
Yeah, he would just do something so out of pocket.
Yeah, he's a class clown. He would be the entertainer.
Yeah, he's hyping up the crowd.
Yeah, pretty much being like, okay, crowd, cheer me on for this next one.
Yeah,
that was my end of question for episode. Yeah, we can tell I can talk. And then at the end of this, before we sign out. We've had finally at the end of chapter 12, I went through and bothered to count. We have 60 named characters, gods, professors, generals, etc. 60 total. And we have 11 random dead named people. So about 71 or 70 names have been issued so far in 12 chapters. Yes.
In 12 chapters.
This book is like 40 chapters long, and 1/4 of the book, there's 70 names thrown out there of gods, professors, dragons, people.
Wait until you get to the third one.
That's the end of this episode. We will be going over chapters 13, 14, 15, 16 in the next episode.
38 more characters. Let's go.
Actually not. It's more like 5, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not bothering to count them. We've already read that. Those 4 chapters. You get like 5 to 10 new characters. And those next 4 chapters, I didn't bother doing a total count. Spoiler alert. It was like too little for me to care.
Yeah.
See y'all next episode.
Next time.
Except I won't be seeing any of y'all. Y'all just get my disembodied voice.
Yapping at you next time.